The Amazon Customer Excellence are back.
Amazon Ace Challenge!
The Amazon Customer Excellence or ACE Challenge is an innovative inter-college case study competition. And for the past 6 years, the ACE Challenge has been inviting the brightest minds from the top B schools in Asia to innovate, strategize and sample a diverse set of complex work challenges.
I still remember 6 years ago we only had about 10 colleges that we reached out to, and maybe a few hundreds in terms of participants. Today we have gone global. It's just not Indian universities. We have gone global. We have gone across Asia. We have had something like 3,000 teams that entered with us. The complexity of our cases have also gone up. These are real cases people are trying to solve for us.
We aspire to be Earth's most customer-centric company. Problems that we have today are linked to the customer, and what we're looking for are solutions where the participants are thinking backwards from the customer. They're thinking about the customer's at the center of the solution, and then they're trying to provide solutions that help us address the big problems that we want to try and fix for them. So looking for ways in which they don't lose the focus on the customer as they think about technology, as they think about innovation, etc. And that's really key for us.
The 2016 ACE Challenge set the stage for the smartest minds from top B schools to compete against the best. With over 3,000 teams and 10 finalists, the Amazon ACE Challenge saw teams from top B schools from Asia face off in a battle of business strategies. The students worked round the clock to come up with out-of-the-box solutions to make it to the final round, the Innovation Challenge. The competition was held across two of Amazon's business areas, operations and consumer business.
We have two case topics this time around, one in operations and one in the consumer business. The consumer business case is on services sector, and just by the nature of it, there are at least three things we're looking for in this time around. One is obviously big ideas are always very attractive to see. Then because of the nature of the services industry, we're looking for people that can think through end-to-end experience, both from a customer's experience as well as the service provider experience. And the third thing, again very specific to this business, is around the organization of the unorganized space. So services being from several individuals that we will get services from, it needs a certain amount of standardization around service, standardization around quality ratings and pricing. So we're looking for somebody who can think through that as well.
The D-Day finally arrived. The finals of ACE Challenge 2016. The red carpet laid down for the top 10 finalists competing to ace each other and be the future of e-commerce. And their excitement was palpable.
We have hardly slept for 2 hours in the past 50 hours and lots of caffeine, and I guess that's why we are more excited than usual.
I'm nervous, I'm excited, I'm like the logo of Amazon, A to Z.
We've been breathing, eating, sleeping Amazon all throughout. Like somebody just has to ask us and we have the whole missiles ready for Amazon. So it's been great fun and I hope this translates into a win for us.
Strategy is very simple: to present the plan very effectively and in a manner that it comes across to Amazon as a feasible option so that we take away home the first prize.
Now let's meet the judges. Raj Raghavan, Director of Human Resources; Shivakumar Menon, Director Customer Service; Kishore Thota, Director of Marketing; Sandhya Potigari, Senior Manager Human Resources; Dhananjay Ramaswamy, Director of Operations; and Shayon Datta, Senior Manager University Relations. So what are these leaders from Amazon expecting from the finalists?
We would like this for the teams to go through in depth in figuring out the solution, not from one particular aspect, but all the way through, as I mentioned earlier, from a customer experience down through to a service provider experience. So ability to dive deeply into the customer journey and the service provider journey is super important. The realistic possibility of implementation is also very important because that's how the case is structured. What would we do in the next 6 months? And how would you help us get to that in the next 6 months? So that is very important as well.
Last year I saw what all effort goes into the case, the kind of research that we have to do to actually be able to come up with a winning solution, and the credibility that comes with it. And this time on the other side, I actually get to see how that's actually useful to me as I'm working as an operations manager at Amazon.
For the B School students competing in the category Consumer Business, here's the case study. One of the 5 finalists in this category was the team from IIM Lucknow. Their plan was centered around the concept of celebrating with Amazon, and their proposal was event services.
We will be providing specific services like catering, then florists, tents to complete event planner company. Also, when we launch this event services program, we will be giving a virtual tour of some major services to our customer in order to give a look and feel of it.
We should have a look at what is the actual plan of action, how it.
So what was their rollout strategy for creating memorable events for Amazon customers?
In next 6 months, we actually plan to train our ground force. Training, because the ground force should know what are we providing. They should be thorough with it while doing the quality checks. Second, we are going to bring the vendors on board. This is an important part because if you don't have vendors, sufficient vendors, you won't be able to make business out of it. Third, we also want to create awareness among the masses, so we will be going with the ATL advertisement.
Team 3 aces from FMS Delhi chose home services as the big idea that Amazon can look to grow in. Their home services proposition included various verticals like beauty services, packers and movers, plumbing, computer repairing and appliance installation.
The first major benefit that launching Amazon services would provide to Amazon is increase in the customer base. The increase in customer base that we see would not only be due to B2C segment, it would also be due to B2B segment. In B2B segment, we can go for large projects. So if suppose a construction of building is going on, we can hire the complete project and send our plumbing services team there. The next is increase in revenues. So the process of increase in revenues would be twofold. The first of all, it would be due to the sale of services. The sale of services is expected to provide a revenue of 14 billion rupees.
It wasn't a cakewalk for the participants. They were grilled by the judges on each aspect for their proposal, nothing short of a boardroom-like drama. Next up, the team from ISB Hyderabad, team champions, and their proposal for Amazon was home services that included home cleaning, repairs and installations.
First, start off by integrating with top 5 FMS agencies in the country, wholly for the reason that they have mastered the expertise of the training, technical and vocational aspect of these services. And eventually, at the later half, convert to a hybrid model like we see nowadays with freelancers and aggregators. There's, needless to say, there will be a very rigorous selection process for the same. Moving to how are we going to train them to deliver a high standard of service? Amazon Ki Pathshala. We're going to educate them on customer values that Amazon holds around customer obsession, demonstrate and create awareness programs for soft skill development, technology processes, and even simple things like English speaking or say scooter lessons.
Did you guys consider the challenge that the timing when your professionals are likely to want these services are going to create a huge spike because evenings and mornings are going to be sort of the preferred time slots? And did you think of how you might address that?
The model that we are proposing is for every A-team professional, there will be 2 other backups. So every time my professional gets a ping on his system, if he does not respond to it within 20 minutes, I allot the same request to somebody else. So this kind of demand and supply gap that we are filling by having sufficient number of A-team professionals on board will help us meet this gap, and we'll be able to deliver customer service even when the service peaks up.
To increase the customer base for Amazon, the team from XLRI Jamshedpur also recommended the idea of home services and wanted Amazon India to cash in on the success of its parent company's launch in the United States of America.
With Amazon launching its home services in US in 2015, it can continue with the same in India this year. We go about it, we already have a few players in this sector, but Amazon, being the brand value, can actually venture into it and leverage upon the same. Amazon is providing currently over 700 services in US. What we need to see is how can we customize this service according to Indian culture. The target sector would be the people working in the service sector and metros in the tier 1 cities for the phase 1. And since we have been given a timeline of 6 months, the initial 3 months would be to identify what all is the need basically.
Amazon professionals will come in at the time.
The last team in the category of consumer business, Team IIM Bangalore, decided to ace the challenge with their proposal of A to Z home rental services.
For the owners, if they will firstly enroll into the Amazon, and after that they'll be passed through a legal contract, and they'll be given a refurbishing services for free. In that legal contract, we'll be making sure that without getting a tenant from the Amazon platform, they cannot sign out, and if they sign out, they need to pay for the refurbishing services which we are giving them for free. Refurbishing giving for free has an advantage that when a customer sees the house, the likability of the customer increases if the house is in a very good condition. From the tenant side, the tenant will register on the Amazon platform, and they'll give their preferences. But as I said, Amazon has the cognitive preferences of that customer as well, so we can suggest them proper options for the houses they can rent. In that, both owner also has a choice to view what kind of tenants they can search for, and when the match is found, all the legality documents are being taken care by the Amazon in that case.
Can I have to wait for the customer service agent to be free?
Yes, we have discussed earlier.
After the break, we bring you the finalists laying down their strategies for the operations side of business. After the top business schools fought it out in the consumer business category, it was time for the final face-off in the operations category. And here's the case presented to the B school students.
We do believe you can make a website only with inputs.
The Amazon Ace Challenge saw teams competing from across Asia, and making to the final face-off was the team from the China-Europe International Business School.
Look at how.
Next up was the team from ISB Hyderabad, and they decided to concentrate on improving the customer services and cutting down on returns and refunds.
The customer care executives, we should give them more cross-skilling, and we should also incentivize the customer care executives to handle more calls and to be more efficient. Our majority of Indians, we are not very familiar, we are not very comfortable with English. So for us to stop the customer from calling us, or for us to sell our products more, so we recommend that we should start developing our websites on at least more than one language.
You might have checked your balance through it.
The team from IIT Mumbai had a unique initiative planned for Amazon called the Amazon 24/7.
24/7, it will provide freedom to customer to access and have a control of the customer service of Amazon. Like USSD caters to the tier 2 and tier 3 cities where they have low internet penetration and low internet speed by providing access to the customer service. And from customer profiling, we have addressed the where's my order query by actually segmenting the customers to anxious customer, and instead of waiting them to call us, we will call them through an automated call. And finally, the artificial intelligence. Using artificial intelligence will address mostly the pre-order queries that the customer has, and using this will be implemented using machine learning.
Recommend having a hashtag trending on
The pitch from the team from IIM Calcutta concentrated on building the confidence among Amazon customers through emphasizing on on-time delivery and quality assurance.
We propose giving a welcome kit. So it's like for the first 10 orders or first 5 orders, with every packaging, we propose having a 6-fold brochure or a 3-fold brochure of sorts, where you are re-emphasizing your commitment to delivery. You are again re-emphasizing the ease of tracking your order online so that they do not call you, they can do it themselves. On the back side of this, we could have stickers which show the 1, 2, 3, 3-step return process. They could stick it on the fridge or anywhere.
So easy.
The team even had a unique idea of giving a digital assistant for the Amazon users.
We should try building a personal digital assistant. It's something like sort of Siri on Cortana, but it also has, apart from being an on-app digital assistant, it has a phone number which you can call and talk to it. What it does, apart from answering your questions in your own language, it also helps you in shopping. So it's like a friend to you.
From Team Calcutta, we moved to the team from Jamshedpur, and their rollout strategy was all about making customers self-efficient and reducing customer care query calls.
The idea is to present new users whenever they purchase for the first time, immediately after the first purchase with a small pop-up. And now in the pop-up, we ask them, would you like to know how to track your product? If they say yes, we use this masks learning picture, which is pretty much common across all the apps, both on apps and maybe on websites, to teach them how to track their orders on the app. So this expedites the learning process, and it also lowers the calls to the CS, increasing visual cues. Now, I do not know the size of this product, so I might call up customer care to know it. Instead of that, having a simple any image where I can gauge the size of this product is more useful. By doing this, we get improved product descriptions on Amazon, which in turn relates to better customer experience and lower better business.
You had a point about converting some of the inbound calls into outbound, and a specific blurb that you had was about an executive calling you back in X number of hours. As you guys were thinking about that solution, did you have a subset of customer contacts that you wanted to use it for, or was it generic?
For prioritizing which customers to call, we have to come up with a propensity to call score for each customer, depending on the volume of the product they have ordered, depending on are they ordering for the first time or the second time, depending on how much delayed that product is, on if they are from belonging to tier 1, tier 2. And we will calculate this score on a running basis, and we will give priority to the highest guy scoring. So for at certain cutoff, below which we will give SMS, above that we will give call.
The format in itself is very challenging. In MBA schools, we learn a lot of theoretical concepts which we apply to ideal cases, but competitions like this help us apply those concepts in actual life scenarios that help us judge our skills as future managers.
I'm totally overwhelmed with the experience. I love Amazon. I've been a customer of the Amazon as a shopper, but coming here as a B school student is truly awesome.
In all, we had 10 groups presenting their cases. It was very difficult to say which was better than the other. I thought it was awesome presentation, very enthusiastic groups, a lot of great ideas. So overall, a great experience and great quality.
And finally, it all boiled down to the moment that the students were waiting for, the results.
Now it's time to announce the winners and runners-up. The runners-up in operations. And the team is Rugel Bliss from IIM Calcutta. The runners-up in consumer business is 3 aces from FMS Delhi. The winners in consumer business ACE 2016 is team from ISB, Team Champion. The winners in operations ACE 2016 is team Kansalgiri from XLRI Jamshedpur.
With participants pushed out of their comfort zones and challenged at every point, the Amazon ACE Challenge never fails to provide excitement. Perhaps that's what makes it such an eagerly awaited event every year for the B School students.